Welcome to my channel Coin Provenance. Today we will discover the most rare coin that was sold for millions in auction. Stick to the end to find shocking truth about these rare coins. The 1973 Lincoln penny may seem like one of the most ordinary coins ever produced in the United States, but behind its familiar appearance lies a fascinating story of American history, artistic craftsmanship, and numismatic significance. While millions of these pennies passed through the hands of everyday Americans during the early 1970s, certain examples have since become highly collectible, with exceptional specimens selling for impressive prices at major auctions. Understanding the history, design, and composition of the 1973 Lincoln penny helps explain why this seemingly common coin continues to attract collectors from around the world. The Lincoln cent itself has a remarkable history that began in 1909. It was introduced to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, making it the first regular United States circulating coin to feature the portrait of an actual historical figure. Before that time, American coins typically displayed symbolic images such as Lady Liberty rather than portraits of presidents. The introduction of Lincoln's portrait marked a major change in American coinage and reflected the nation's growing admiration for one of its most respected leaders. By 1973, the Lincoln cent had already been circulating for more than 6 decades. The United States was experiencing an era of economic uncertainty, rising inflation, and increasing metal prices. Despite these challenges, the Mint continued producing billions of Lincoln pennies because they remained an essential part of everyday commerce. During that year, pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark, and at the Denver Mint, identified by the small d beneath the date. Together, these facilities produced billions of coins, making the 1973 Lincoln penny one of the most common dates in the entire Lincoln cent series. The obverse of the 1973 Lincoln penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. His design remains one of the longest-running portraits in American coinage history. Lincoln is shown facing right with a calm and thoughtful expression, symbolizing dignity, wisdom, and perseverance. Above the portrait appears the word Liberty, while the date, 1973, is positioned to the right. The national motto, "In God We Trust," curves gracefully along the upper edge of the coin. Brenner's initials, VDB, which caused controversy when the coin was first released in 1909, remains subtly placed at the base of Lincoln's shoulder, though many people never notice them without magnification. The reverse design used in 1973 is commonly known as the Wheat Memorial reverse, although it actually features the Lincoln Memorial. This reverse was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the original wheat years that had appeared on the coin for 50 years. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial in remarkable architectural detail. One of the most fascinating features is that the tiny seated statue of Abraham Lincoln inside the memorial can actually be seen under magnification, making the coin unique because it portrays the same individual on both sides. Above the memorial is the inscription, "United States of America," while "E pluribus unum" arches across the top. The denomination 1 cent appears boldly beneath the memorial, completing the balanced and elegant composition. The composition of the 1973 Lincoln penny is another reason it holds historical importance. Unlike modern pennies, which are primarily made of zinc with only a thin copper coating, the 1973 cent consists of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This alloy gives the coin its rich reddish color when freshly struck and provides a satisfying weight of approximately 3.11 grams. Its diameter measures 19.05 millimeters, and the coin has a plain edge, without any reading. These specifications had remained largely unchanged for decades and represented the traditional bronze composition that collectors often prefer over later zinc issues introduced in 1982. As copper prices increased during the 1970s, producing bronze pennies became increasingly expensive for the United States Mint. Although the composition remained unchanged in 1973, the rising cost of copper eventually forced government officials to explore less expensive alternatives. Less than a decade later, the mint adopted a copper-plated zinc composition to reduce production costs. Because of this change, the 1973 Lincoln penny represents one of the final generations of traditional bronze cents, adding to its historical appeal among collectors. While most 1973 Lincoln pennies are worth only a small premium over face value, condition plays an enormous role in determining their market value. Coins that circulated heavily often display worn surfaces, scratches, and discoloration, making them common collectibles. However, examples preserved in pristine mint state condition with original red luster are far scarcer. Professional grading services carefully examine these coins for strike quality, surface preservation, and eye appeal before assigning a numerical grade. The highest graded examples have become especially desirable because so few survive with flawless surfaces after decades of storage and handling. Collectors also search for unusual mint errors and varieties from 1973. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and other manufacturing mistakes can significantly increase a coin's value. These errors occurred during the minting process and escaped quality control before entering circulation. Because every error is unique, collectors are often willing to pay substantial premiums for dramatic examples that display clearly visible mistakes. Auction records demonstrate just how valuable an exceptional 1973 Lincoln penny can become. While ordinary circulated coins may be worth only a few cents, superb uncirculated examples with brilliant original red surfaces have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars. Rare error coins and top population certified specimens have achieved particularly impressive auction results, proving that condition and rarity can transform an everyday 1-cent coin into a prized collectible. These remarkable sales continue to inspire collectors to search through old coin jars, bank rolls, and inherited collections in hopes of discovering an overlooked treasure. At first glance, the 1973 Lincoln penny looks like nothing more than an ordinary 1-cent coin. Millions of Americans carried it in their pockets, dropped it into vending machines, and tossed it into jars without giving it a second thought. Even today, many people overlook these pennies because they seem so common. However, the world of coin collecting tells a different story. Hidden among the billions of ordinary 1973 Lincoln pennies are a small number of remarkable coins whose rarity, condition, and unusual minting characteristics have made them highly desirable to collectors. These special pieces remind us that even the smallest denomination can become a prized collectible under the right circumstances. The United States Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies in 1973 at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Because so many were struck, most examples remain easy to find in circulated condition and are worth only face value. Yet rarity in coin collecting is not always determined by the total number minted. Instead, it often depends on how many coins survive in exceptional condition or possess unusual features that distinguish them from the rest. That is why collectors carefully inspect every 1973 Lincoln penny they encounter, knowing that an ordinary-looking coin can occasionally reveal something extraordinary. One of the biggest factors influencing the value of a 1973 Lincoln penny is its condition. Coins that have spent decades in circulation usually display scratches, worn details, dull surfaces, and discoloration. These are common and generally hold little premium over their face value. On the other hand, coins that escape circulation immediately after leaving the mint can retain their original mint luster and sharp design details. Such uncirculated examples are far scarcer than many people realize because most coins were used in everyday commerce. As a result, collectors are willing to pay significantly more for coins that appear almost exactly as they did on the day they were struck. Professional grading also plays an important role in determining value. Independent grading services examine every detail of a coin, including the quality of the strike, preservation of the surfaces, and overall eye appeal. They assign numerical grades on a scale that helps collectors compare coins with confidence. Even a single-point difference at the highest grades can mean a dramatic increase in market value. For the 1973 Lincoln penny, top-grade examples with brilliant original red color are among the most sought after because so few have survived in virtually flawless condition. Another reason certain 1973 Lincoln pennies attract so much attention is the possibility of mint errors. During the coin production process, millions of blanks passed through high-speed machinery every day. Although the mint maintained strict quality control, occasional mistakes still occurred. These errors escaped into circulation, creating unique coins that collectors now prize. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the blank was not properly positioned, are among the most recognizable. Broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and double design elements are additional examples of minting mistakes that can substantially increase a coin's value depending on their severity and visibility. Collectors are especially fascinated by dramatic errors because each one tells the story of an unexpected moment inside the mint. Unlike damage that occurs after a coin enters circulation, genuine mint errors happen during production and cannot be duplicated intentionally. This uniqueness creates excitement whenever a previously unknown example is discovered. Some collectors spend years searching through bank rolls, estate collections, and old coin jars hoping to uncover one of these hidden treasures. Color is another characteristic that significantly affects the value of a 1973 Lincoln penny. Newly minted bronze cents display a bright red appearance caused by their fresh copper surfaces. Over time, exposure to air and handling causes the color to darken into red-brown and eventually brown. Coins that retain their full original red color are considerably scarcer because copper naturally oxidizes over the decades. As a result, collectors often pay substantial premiums for certified red examples, particularly those with exceptional surface preservation and attractive eye appeal. Demand from collectors has also contributed to the increasing popularity of the 1973 Lincoln penny. The Lincoln Cent series remains one of the most widely collected coin series in the United States, appealing to beginners and advanced numismatists alike. Since many collectors attempt to assemble complete date and mint sets, they constantly seek the finest available examples. This steady demand, combined with the limited number of superbly preserved coins, has supported strong prices for premium quality specimens at auctions and private sales. Although the vast majority of 1973 Lincoln pennies remain inexpensive, the rarest examples prove that condition and mint errors can transform an everyday coin into an impressive collectible. Exceptional certified pieces with outstanding eye appeal or dramatic production errors have achieved prices far beyond what most people would ever expect for a 1-cent coin. Stories of valuable discoveries continue to inspire collectors to examine every penny they find, knowing that remarkable coins can remain hidden in ordinary places for decades. The enduring appeal of the 1973 Lincoln penny lies in this sense of possibility. Every coin carries the same design, but no two collections are exactly alike. Whether preserved in flawless mint condition or displaying a fascinating production error, the finest examples represent an important part of American numismatic history. Their rarity is measured not by how many were originally produced, but by how few have survived in extraordinary condition. That is why the 1973 Lincoln penny continues to capture the imagination of collectors, reminding us that remarkable value can sometimes be found in the most unexpected places. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Coin Provenance for future updates about rare coins. Stay tuned.